What's good, you guys? So in today's sorcery video, I'm about to give you guys the most brain rot mimicry build. Like, I kid you guys not, this is one of the best builds you could possibly get in this game. Now, we're going to be going over the domain, the curse technique setup, the stats, all that good stuff. So if you guys end up enjoying this video and you guys want more like it, be sure to like and subscribe. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this build. So if you guys are just trusting me and you guys really don't care what I have to say, I'm going to put up timestamps right here for you guys who are just going to trust in me and just use this build, copy and paste. But for those of you guys who want to hear my reasonings for why I have certain curse techniques or certain stats, you guys be sure to stay. Now, first things first, we're going to cover these stats. So for the stats, you're going to want to rock 75 agility and 75 curse energy. Now, the reason you need agility is for piercing thrust, dash, and slash dance. Now, I kid you guys not, piercing thrust and slash dance do a crazy amount of damage. It's actually insane. Slash dance, it has pretty much no wind up. It's a triple slash, does a ton of damage. Mind you, you're going to also have mimicry, so you're going to have Rika doing extra damage as well. So this move is hard to parry and it's high damaging. Now, as for piercing thrust, it's kind of the same thing, except it's a bit harder to set up, which is fine because the range on piercing thrust is actually crazy. So as long as you have a rough understanding of what the hitbox is and how far you can hit somebody with it, you're going to be getting hits off crazy with piercing thrust. As for the dash, you're going to need that so you can catch up to people. I mean, you guys can see in the gameplay right here, people play very weirdly. They use, their back dash a lot, and yeah, people try and move around a lot, and dash is just going to help you catch up to people as well as helping you set up your curse techniques. All right, now as for the curse energy side of things, you're going to need curse slashes and blessed by the sparks. That's pretty much it. Now, curse slashes is genuinely so OP, just like the other things. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been hit by curse slashes, but the hitbox for it is genuinely insane, especially in a game where the hitboxes are very inconsistent. So it's really good for setting up curse techniques and your other abilities. Now, some of you guys might be wondering why I didn't go strength route instead of curse energy. And it's because of two reasons. One, because that's simply not my playstyle, and two, because curse energy and agility is actually so overpowered. And I'm gonna just say this now, strength takes a bit more skill in my opinion, and it's a bit slower. I mean, yeah, the damage is rewarding, but I mean, if someone is as fast as an agility mimicry user, you're not hitting anything, and you guys can also see that in today's gameplay. But yeah, simply strength really isn't versatile if I'm keeping it a buck with you guys. But yeah, that's about it for the build. And just a quick thing, if you guys are wondering what weapon you should be using, you're either going to want to use the black blade or the katana. And if you end up using the katana, make sure you use infuse. All right, now as for your domain, you're going to want to use mutual love. Now, mutual love is a really good domain. Once again, very versatile. It's not as damaging as shrine, or it doesn't heal you as much as jackpot, but that's why it's so good. It's right in between the middle. With this domain, you pretty much just get best of both worlds. And yeah, like I said though, it doesn't do as much damage as shrine or heal you as much as jackpot, so you're gonna need some form of skill to use this. Now, don't be too worried though, because I mean, it's a domain expansion. Like, it doesn't take too much skill in general, but just make sure you're getting the best use out of it. Make sure you're fighting within the crosses so you can heal and your opponent can take damage. And with this build, like, you got dash and all these other moves, like it's gonna make it pretty easy for you to hawk down your opponent in a domain. All right, now last thing we got is the curse techniques you're gonna need to copy. Now, I'm gonna go over the hotbar here in a bit, but the curse techniques you're gonna want to copy is flying cleave, red, and body repel. Now, red and flying cleave should be pretty easy to get, but body repel might be a bit harder if I'm being honest with you guys, because people only use shrine, limitless, or mimicry in this game, so it's gonna be hard finding like a soul user or anything like that. So if you guys are really struggling to get that technique, then honestly just make an alt account and then just get the technique from your alt. Like, if I'm being honest, that's probably the best way if you can't find anybody in a public lobby with soul manipulation. But yeah, anyways, you guys might be wondering, what do I do with the fourth slot if I have it? Now, it's honestly personal preference, but I do heavily recommend you don't actually use that final slot, because body repel, red, and flying cleave are the most mobile moves in the game, which is why I chose them, and anything else would slow it down, because majority moves in this game will get you punished if you miss it. Like, There's a couple blood manipulation moves that will straight up just cook you if you miss them. Same goes for dismantle and the shrine kit. Like, the animation is just so slow, and yeah, if you end up missing a dismantle, you're cooked. Like, you're getting a red to the back of the head. But yeah, enough about that fourth slot. Let's talk about why these moves are good and why I actually picked them. So first things first, flying cleave. Now, flying cleave is generally something I do not see shrine users using enough. Like, flying cleave is so OP. Like, first off, the range is insane. Like, you can pretty much hit anybody like you're engaged in combat with, and it's also one of, if not the most mobile abilities in the game. Like, this is one of the only abilities you can use in the air and hit it accurately. You can straight up do a double jump in the air, dash in a whole different direction, use flying cleave, and hit it precisely. And on top of all of this, you can pair it really well with red. Like, you don't even need to have like crazy timing or anything like that. You just use one or the other first, and one of them is gonna hit. Like, something I like to do is use red so people can't see, and you know, they already parried it, so their guard is down, and then just use flying cleave because it's instant. But yeah, speaking of red, let's talk about that. So red is probably the slowest ability in this kit, but it's also the main damage dealer. Like, flying cleave and body repel, they're cool. Like, yes, if you use them in certain ways, they will put on a lot of damage, but red is gonna be your raw damage dealer. But like I said, it's kind of slow. It has a slow wind up, so you got to time this correctly. But if your opponent is playing like most players in this game and is playing very passive and backing up a lot, like, you're gonna have a lot of opportunities to hit the red because the hitbox is also pretty good. Now lastly, we have the final move, body repel. Now, out of flying cleave and red, body repel is probably the weakest out of the two, but I'd also say it's the most versatile. Like, for you in a battle, its main uses are going to be stopping people from using reverse curse technique, using techniques in general, using domain expansions, as well as setting up for M1 combos, because if you hit someone with that move and they get that tiny stun, then you have an opportunity to put on a ton of damage. And another thing I like to do with body repel is set up my flying cleave with it. Like, I use body repel, flying cleave, and then do a red right after. And hey, I mean, at least two of those moves are gonna hit. But yeah, anyways, that's about it for the copied curse techniques. Now finally, we have to talk about how you guys are gonna be using the conjure ability, the Rika ability. Now, I'll put the exact stats in the comments, but you'll have 2 in your base attack damage, and that is going to be absolutely huge. You're going to end battles very quick with these stats. But yeah, like I said earlier, you're going to need Black Blade, and then finally Conjure. And with this, you literally just M1, you know. If you're decent at pairing, you're decent at setting up combos, then this is going to do wonders for you. So if you want to maximize the efficiency of this build, then you're going to need to master M1 combat and landing your abilities, flying cleave, red, and body repel. But yeah, with that being said, that's about it for the build. If you guys only came here for the build, you guys can click off now. But if you guys are wondering how you should set up your hotbar, here's a picture of how mine's looking like. So yeah, obviously like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, easy to get to. And you guys might be wondering, what about 9 and 8, curse slashes and body repel? Now for that, I honestly just changed the side mouse buttons, and if you guys don't have side mouse buttons, you could always change it to a bind on your keyboard. You guys could just look up a video for that. But yeah, pretty much I have it to where I can get to every single one of my moves easily, especially flying cleave, reversal red, and body repel, because I use those the most in battles. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you use the build for yourself, and yeah, peace.